Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So, pretty much moved to the upside yesterday. Fairly decent little positive move in the index. It was about 0.5% that we moved up. I just want to put two key levels in here. And there is also a gap that we're looking at the moment as well. So if you just look at the 8 hour, you can see we've eased off the oscillators. They've separated and crossed over. This is very bullish. But when you look at price action, strong move down, fairly weak move up. This does look like we're lining up for another leg down. Now, I just want to just get an idea of where this level is. So if it was to move down for a second leg, that's kind of the area that we're looking for. So if you look left, you can see the structure that we have around here. So I would expect a few ambushes there as well. So these two little pin bars here will more than likely line up a structure to the left. So that would be the opportunity for a very decent entry to the upside. So that is at 18,564, but it could also be a downside target. But we're going to have a look at that now on the lower time frame. So moving to the 3 hour, we did get a crossover and we started moving up. But you can see what I'm talking about. Strong move down, and this is kind of a weak move to the upside. And we do have some structure to the left. If you look here, look at all these tails that we're flirting with at the moment, and that's kind of where we've got to before price started sort of fizzling out. So the trend is up, definitely no two ways about that. But this move that we had last week, a fairly strong move. You see double top on Thursday, Friday, one move down, pullback, second move down, ranged. We busted through all the levels that we were looking at for a rejection, but then look at all these buyers that are stepping in here. Friday and then yesterday at the open, massive amount of buyers stepping in trying to drive this up higher. So at the moment, when we look at the oscillators, it looks like moving down, but what could happen here is a messy move here for a base and then a second leg up as well. So 50-50 call. There is merit to be looking for shorts, and there is merit to be looking for longs. This gap is still open as well. So that to me just indicates that I would take it just above, shove it up here in no man's land. But to me, this gap is open. I suppose we could do that. And obviously the bottom of the bar is closing the gap. So if you look at the oscillators now, 18,740 is still wide open, and you would expect this to move down, and that would form an inverse cup and handle. If you broke through sort of the lows of Friday, then that's going to validate your bigger move down to look for a short down to 18,564. So that's the short side. There is also a long side here as well, and that just depends on what is going on where price is now. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to it now during the Asian session, but I would definitely be paying attention to this. And one more. So I would definitely be paying attention to this during the European session. So how would I be playing this to the downside? I just want to see price break down below the moving averages on the 15-minute here, come back, reject this area, then I'm basically looking for shorts probably all the way down to where the lows of yesterday were, around 18,740, before getting out of it, because that could be a big range. How am I going to trade this to the upside? Fairly simple. I need a break and retest of 18,900 basically. So I need price to move up, I need to come back and test this, and if we just do this, you can see fairly significant, sorry, not really that significant. That's the high there. Just want to put another level in. You can see these two daily highs, exactly where price is hovering at the moment. So if you look at what happened yesterday, big juicy inside bar here. So from a daily perspective, there's definitely merit for looking for a continuation up. You just need to find the base that is going to come off, and that to me is going to be the break. If we do come down to test the lows here, I'm not so sure I'd be wanting to jump in long at that point, but I definitely would be looking at it. I think the safer bet for me is to see what happens at the open. So if we sort of just drop back even a little bit down to 18,830 area and we start building a base, I think I would be interested in getting in long for a move up. And what are we aiming for is pretty much firstly the underside of the high at 18,956, and then what you're doing is you're looking to test the current all-time high at 19,057. Okay, so that's kind of my view today. It is set up for both ways. You just need to be very, very, very in tune with what's going on, and don't hold on to your positions because you could be wrong. So have your entry well defined, have your stop loss well defined as well. I would keep the stops fairly close and then see what happens. And if you look at this on the 6 minutes, you can see there's lots of gaps to the downside as well. So there's definitely merit for a downside move, at least to 18,830 and to 18,800 area. Beyond that, I think you need to be a little bit cautious. I want to see price break that clearly before moving down, but that could set up this flag that we're seeing for a bigger leg down. But bear in mind what that does on the daily is it creates confusion, because that would be a case of big down, big up, big down. So just bear that in mind. If you do close below 18,740 on the daily, then I suspect you're going to move down to 18,564. Hope that helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.